Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Monday, August the 1st, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Josh Crash Davis. Crash, how are you on this Monday morning? We are actually into August, believe it or not.
Yeah, we are. We're getting closer and closer to football season, and we just did our football top 10 quarterbacks for 2022, you and I and Steve the other day. So it's definitely, that smell of football is in the air for sure. So, but we are still going heavy at our baseball too, and that's why we're here. So
Absolutely.
was able to get into the green last night, and obviously want to keep that rolling today and hopefully do a little bit better.
Well done. Absolutely. And we've got the nice thing is we have a really clean slate tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We have a 9-game main slate that starts at 7:05, and it's like that on Fanduel, Draftkings, and Yahoo. So no messing around with a bunch of multiple slates that are confusing. We've just got our main thing. Of course, the only game that's not included in that is that 6:40 red start. For some reason, they always want to start a little bit earlier than everybody else. So we don't have to worry about that one. And then the weather looks great. Only one spot is a concern, and that's Cleveland. So we're going to watch Cleveland closely. That has a chance to at least be delayed, and some risk of postponement, but I think it should go. But the other games are all clear. No worries whatsoever. So the fun thing is, big announcement for us today is we're going to start doing these podcasts live starting tomorrow. So Deb and I are going to attack the first one at 10:45 tomorrow morning Eastern time. And then we're going to try you and I on Wednesday at 9:15 a.m. Eastern time. So we're going to try to mix up and see. Let us know what you prefer, what time works. I know everybody's in different time zones. I mean, we have people all over the world that are part of Coach Talk in Australia and Spain and France and certainly Canada, a lot of different places.
Yeah.
So I know the time zones are weird all over the place, but we're going to try to get feedback from all of our listeners and members and see what time they want to have this on a daily basis, because we'll settle in on a time and be consistent once we figure out what works best for everybody. So that's going to be exciting, Crash.
Definitely.
I love interacting with live chat. So what we'll do is when we're doing these podcasts, we'll do the same format that we've been doing, but we'll take a few breaks throughout to answer questions in live chat and make sure that we have everybody up to speed. So don't forget, if you're tuning in tomorrow, it's 10:45 a.m. Eastern live, and then Wednesday is 9:15 a.m. Eastern live. And then, keep flooding in the info. Let us know what you like. You can make send us a note right here in YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, subscribe button, and then shoot us a message. Let us know what you think about us going live starting tomorrow. Also hit the alert button, because that alert will let you know when we're about to go live. This way you don't miss anything that's coming up. You also can send us a quick note on Twitter. We're at DFS Coach Talk. I'm at Joe Sarvati, as you can see below my picture here. And same thing for Crash. He's at JP Davis 1982. You can also comment on TikTok. We've been tackling the TikTok world here. So we're our address there is DFS Coach Talk. So you can send us a message there too. All right, let's fly into this slate and get this done. Feel comfortable with, like I say, the weather other than Cleveland. So we should be able to rock and roll it. If you are playing that early solo game, we're not messing with it, but it is the Reds Marlins at 6:40, Hunter Green versus Jesus Lazardo. All right, main slate, 9 games everywhere. Mets, Washington's the first one. It's at 7:05, 8.5's the total. The man, Mad Max Scherzer, 10.6K against Patrick Corbin, the lefty, at 6.6K, 4K cheaper, that's all. And it's 86 warm degrees in Washington, breeze blowing out to center at 5 miles an hour. 5.27 implied for the Mets. Nice number against Corbin. And of course, a pretty small number for the Nationals at 3.23 implied. Next game at 7:05, Seattle Mariners, New York Yankees in New York. Nice day there as well, 77 degrees, slight breeze, 9 is the total. It's Marco Gonzalez, the lefty, at 7.1K for Seattle. Domingo Germán, 6.4K for the Yankees. We have an implied total for Seattle, not bad, 3.79, respectable. And Yankees, a solid one, of course, at 5.21 implied. So nice series, two hot teams. And what a tough schedule for Seattle. They have Houston and now they have at New York back to back. So
yeah,
we'll see what the Mariners are made of. Plus, your man is down. That ankles, he's on the wrist. He's on the IL. So
yeah, that's true.
You know what sucks about that? I think he hurt it in the home run contest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they were saying. And that's really
rough.
That's gonna make guys not wanting to get in there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough there, man.
Yeah, that's not good. And they really need him too. They're in a dog fight.
Definitely.
So, yeah. All right, 7:10. We got Arizona Diamondbacks in Cleveland. This is a game that we're going to watch. It's actually a 60% chance of rain at first pitch, which is a little scary. It does decline throughout the evening, 55, 40, 35, 30. So maybe a delay, we'll see, but we're going to watch that close. It's a 9 total. Zach Davies at 6.9K against Cal Quantrill at 7.2K, 4.06 implied for Arizona, and 4.94 for the Guardians. 12 miles an hour out to center and 81 warm degrees, maybe between the raindrops in Cleveland. We shoot over to Minnesota, Detroit at Minnesota. Low total here of only 7. It's a nice warm day in Minnesota, 81 degrees, no wind to talk about. Tariq Skubal, lefty, 8K. Devin Smeltzer, lefty, 6.9K. We've got a 3.39 implied for Detroit, 3.61 implied for Minnesota. So it looks like Vegas thinks it's going to be more of a pitching duel between Skubal and Smeltzer. All right, 8 o'clock. Boston Red Sox, Houston Astros, another great series. 7.5 is the total here. In the Dome in Houston again, Nathan Eovaldi, 7.6K against Luis Garcia, 8.6K. 3.18 implied total for Boston, 4.32 for the Houston Astros. So good series there. Another Dome game in Texas where it's been over 100 degrees for like 20 some straight days in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Crazy warm there. That I do not miss. 7.5 is the total in this game. Spencer Watkins at 5.9K for Baltimore. John Gray at 9.7K for the Texas Rangers. Triple threes implied for Baltimore, 3.33, and an implied total of 4.17 for the Texas Rangers. We go to Chicago, another beautiful warm day there, 83 degrees sunny, slight breeze blowing out to right center at 11 miles an hour. The Royals and White Sox totals 9. Brad Keller, 6.8K. Michael Kopech, 7K flat. And the implied totals here, Kansas City, 3.93. Chicago, over 5, 5.07. Pretty stout for the White Sox. Last 2 games on the chart here. Could be a late 2-game play if you want to play it. 9:40 Colorado at San Diego. 7.5 total here in Vegas. Antonio Senzatella, 5.4K against Mike Clevenger, 8.3K. So quite a price difference there. Beautiful in San Diego as always. Light breeze, 74 degrees. 3.05 implied for the Rockies, 4.45 for the Padres. And the last game on the slate crash, we have the Dodgers at the Giants. Another fun series to watch, always intense. Vegas has this as an 8 total. Nice cool night in San Francisco, like usual, 62 degrees, little breeze blowing out to the left. And we've got a 4.30 implied for the Dodgers, 3.70 for the Giants. Nice pitching matchup here. Andrew Haney, the lefty, 9.5K against Logan Webb, 8.8K. So the good thing, Crash, is we don't have any Coors game. We don't have any silly Wrigley win game. We have real, even across the board, 9-game slate where you can, look at your numbers, figure out your best plays, and not have to be intimidated by any silly lines or, weather situations, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, sir. I guess we just dive right into this sucker. If you're watching on YouTube, again, quick thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, click the alert so you know when we go live tomorrow. And if you're watching on any of our YouTube or podcast landing sites, keep an eye out because we're going to be announcing today in Discord and on Twitter who the winner was for July. We have a drawing to win a 3-month membership, and today starts a new month, so we'll be announcing that today. And if you want to enter, just give us a 5-star rating wherever you listen, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcast, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeart, doesn't matter. Just a quick top rating, 5 stars. Give us a little comment, and our man Colin will go in there, and we will have another winner. So hopefully you won this month. So keep an eye on Twitter, like I say, at DFS Coach Talk for that new champ for a free month. All right, we're going to Josh Crash Davis's top pay up value and fade pitcher for this slate, 9-game main slate on August 1st, 2022. What do you got?
My top pitcher is going to be Max Scherzer. 11-5 on Fanduel, 10-6 on DraftKings. This will be the first time he's faced the Nationals since, the season opener. I think he was a little bit amped up. That was his first time going back to Washington since he had left there. And he pitched 6 innings, struck out 6, and allowed 3 runs for 37 fantasy points. So he was solid, but not quite the Max Scherzer that we're used to. And I think we'll see a better performance from him tonight. So he's going to be my top pay-up pitcher. My value pitcher is going to be Michael Kopech. He's 8,200 on Fanduel, 7,000 on DraftKings. In his last start, he pitched 5 1/3 shutout innings at Coors. And I don't feel like there's a lot of great value options on this slate, but I do like the price here, especially on DraftKings at $7K. And the 2 top bats for Kansas City, it's not a huge sample size, but they're both 1 for 9 against Kopech. So I like the matchup there. And then my fade pitcher is going to be Logan Webb going against the Dodgers. It's just they're the second highest scoring offense this year at 5.19 runs per game. And he did face them a couple weeks ago. He pitched 6 innings, but he only got 2 strikeouts, and he scored only 25 fantasy points. So at that price, we need 40 to 45 from him to be able to hit value, and I just don't think he gets there. So he's going to be my fade.
That makes sense. For my side of the slate today, for pitching, for pay-up value and fade, I think that this may be the most obvious play of the MLB season that I can remember in preparing for these podcasts. You have one superstar, incredible pitcher in Scherzer.
Yeah.
You've got, like you said, that extra narrative pitching against his old team. You've got everything in the world going. He's pitching great. Washington's not hitting. I mean, I don't see how you don't play Scherzer today. I don't care if he's 95% owned. He's like a million times better than any other pitcher on this slate, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so,
I would agree.
I don't think he should be the 10-6, 11-5, or $56 on the 3 sites. He, according to who he's pitching against in this group of the pitchers, the 18 pitchers that are starting, he should be like 13K or 12.5 or 63. Yeah. He's that much better than everybody else. So even though he's my pay-up pitcher in a roundabout way, I think he's a value pitcher too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see a scenario in any type of contest. I don't care if you're you can't even try the whole leverage shenanigans here and not play him, because you're going to spot somebody maybe 30 points right off the bat if you pick an average pitcher. So anyway, this is probably my strongest endorsement of a player this Major League Baseball season. How's that? So I'm playing Scherzer in every single lineup I can. And if I can hijack anybody's lineup, I'm even playing them in that. So Scherzer or bust and then some. And again, it's a chalk block. So let's say he just has an average game, which he pitched average against Washington last time. And like you said, 7, he's going to have 50 probably. He's going to go deep. He's going to crush this team. And, like I say, though, even if he does have not that crush game, you're not losing anything to anybody else because everybody else is going to have him. Right. And I would love if I had one cash matchup in a head-to-head or anything where somebody didn't take him, because I would feel so good about that going in. So
yeah, definitely.
He's my runaway. So my value pitcher is going to be Mr. Haney. I think, if you look at what he's done recently, he has that high strikeout potential. His price is decent, 95 DraftKings, 94 FanDuel, and only 41 on Yahoo, which I think is too cheap. I just like the matchup today. And again, it's, who's out there. There's just not that many good pitchers going. There's a lot of guys in rough spots all over the place. And so, I like Haney against San Fran just because I do respect San Fran, but it's cool. That marine layer we always talk about. It's such a wonderful park to pitch in. I mean, you can hit a bomb to center and it's just a routine, can of corn. So I do like Haney. I don't ever trust him that much. And I don't know how extremely deep he's going to go. But in the fact that his price is fair enough, and, the game situation, I think Haney's a nice play tonight.
I agree.
My fade pitcher is going to be John Gray. A couple of reasons. One, I think Baltimore's hitting is better than people actually give it credit for. Up and down their lineup is solid. And I just think he's overpriced. I mean, he's 7-5 with a 3.62 ERA. He's good sometimes. He's average sometimes. He throws in a few not so great ones. But his pricing to me is ridiculous. 9,700 on DraftKings, 10K on FanDuel, and 44 on Yahoo. I'm just not going to pay that for John Gray.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps up our pitching. Let's dive right into the hitting side of things.
Okay.
Josh Crash Davis. I'm going with your full entire name today. What are your BVP and HR calls for today? And maybe this makes its way to the wonderful world of TikTok so people can jump on your hitting selections here.
My BVP play for today is going to be Pete Alonso. He's 4,100 on FanDuel, 6,300 on DraftKings. So his price has gone way up on DraftKings.
That hurts.
Yeah, but he is 364 against Patrick Corbin with 12 hits in 33 at bats. He has 6 singles, 2 doubles, 4 home runs, and 8 walks. So
wow,
he's definitely seeing him well.
Definitely.
My home run call, I feel like I've been using this guy every day lately, but it's Yordan Alvarez. He is 7 for 8, so 875 against Eovaldi. 3 singles, 3 doubles, a home run, and 2 walks. And I don't know if I could reproduce those numbers on MLB The Show on rookie difficulty. I mean, it's just insane. 22 for 30 home runs against right-handed pitchers this year. And as I said, 7 for 8. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So
that is phenomenal, and I like it. Did you see when he fouled that ball off his knee the other day?
Yes, I did. That was terrible.
That scared the heck out of him. We had him in our lineups. I'm watching the game, takes this massive cut, and the ball just goes directly straight into right above his knee. And he went down like he got shot.
Yeah.
And I thought he was out of the game for sure. He could barely move and he was limping around. So I'm just concerned. Let's keep an eye on that. He stayed in the game, but he did not look right. Right. And so keep an eye on that, because I agree with you. I mean, those are beyond softball numbers, and certainly phenomenal player. I just want to make sure, though, that he's got that leg drive, because I guarantee you that sucker swelled up in his black and blue.
Yeah.
Because I know I've fouled the ball off my body in different spots. Shin, I still have a lump for life on my shin from years ago. And that hurts. And so,
isn't that how Christian Yelich got hurt?
Yeah. I mean, some guys break a bone doing that.
That's what it reminded me of. The first thing I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, he just did what Yelich did. But he was able to stay in the game. I mean, that next at bat or whatever, once he got back up, he almost hit it out.
Well, it was the very next pitch, because I was watching it. And when he hit it, I thought it was gone, but it was a deep fly to center. So,
but he did hit a walk-off it was a single, but he did hit a walk-off single yesterday, so that gives me a little bit more confidence.
I think he's going to be fine as well. I just wanted to bring it up in case you hadn't seen it, because if he's not 100%,
right,
you got to just
hard to hit it out. Yeah,
not that he probably couldn't homer, at 75%, as awesome as he is, but I'm with you. All right, for me, my BVP play is going to be one Jose Altuve. I really like him tonight against Nathan Eovaldi. He's 7 for 21 for cool 333, but 5 of those are extra base hits. 3 of them are homers. He's walked against him as well. A very solid 1221 OPS, 857 slugging, 364 OBP, and that 333 average. And Altuve's just such a stud. And I love him, in his own ballpark there in Houston. So Altuve's my BVP play. My home run play is your BVP play, Pete Alonso. Like you said, all the numbers are ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know me, 12 for 33, to be 364 is impressive. But when you mix 8 walks into that, like you said, geez, listen, 1276 OPS, 788 slugging, 488 OBP, and a 364 average. And it's Pete Alonso against the fading Patrick Corbin. So I don't know if I'll have a lineup where Mr. Alonso isn't in there with Mr. Scherzer.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough to do in some cases because of his price, but at 6,300 on DraftKings, at least, I mean, that's a steep price to pay.
It is a brutal price to pay, but I will say this: there are so many value plays, min price guys that are in lineups. I mean, it's not like in other sports, NFL or NBA stuff like that. When you take 2 or 3 studs that are super high priced, you're screwed, because then you got to get somebody off the bench or a 4th wideout or whatever it is. But in baseball, you can grab a number 5, 6 hitter, min priced. It's going to get 4 or 5 at bats and feel pretty good about it. So I do love that about baseball, that you really can manipulate your lineups with some cheaper guys and get the studs that you want,
Yeah, that's definitely true. So that brings me into my stacks, because my top stack is going to be the Mets against Patrick Corbin.
Yeah.
And then Houston against Eovaldi. We both mentioned several players from Houston, so I like them. I like the Yankees against Marco Gonzalez. And then my GPP stack is going to be Cleveland against Zach Davies.
Okay. Let's hope that game goes. But if it does, I think that's a nice little sneaky stack there for sure.
Yeah.
The 2 New York teams, I love the Mets and Yankees. That's no hot take. I know everybody's going to have a bunch of Mets and a bunch of Yankees. I get that. Houston as well, in that little ballpark. And I know somebody sent a message saying it's not the smallest. I get that. But I'm telling you, every time I watch games in Houston, I've watched them for years, it just seems like routine fly balls get out of there. I swear. Especially to right field.
That right field porch is pretty short. I mean, it may not be the shortest, but it's pretty short. I mean,
it does, and the ball carries. It seems like they hit a line drive there, and it just stays elevated enough, and it's out. So, I love playing. hitting teams there. So I'm with them. I've got a really, really weird GPP stack today. And I'm going to play a secondary GPP with 3 or 4 guys from this team. And I bet you if I had you guess the 18 teams and go one by one to who I have this mini stack, this would be like the 16th pick you'd make. I sort of like Detroit today. They hit lefties better than they do righties.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Yeah,
I know. They hit lefties better than they do righties. It's nice and warm in Minnesota. I'm not a big Smeltzer guy. I think 7 is too low for that number. Haas and Scope, Baez, Grossman, they can pop one out of there. So super duper sneaky, super duper low owned, little mini Detroit stack, I think could be a takedown kind of scenario.
I will say this. When I first built my FanDuel lineup, they were supposed to have Chris Archer as their projected starter.
Right.
But they've changed it now to Smeltzer. But both Baez and Scope had really good BVP against him.
They do.
So I initially had those guys in my lineup.
So,
yeah.
Well, you got to get them back in there. And then you always have the Castro twins at the bottom, too.
Right.
Harold and Will. They can pop a hit here and there at 2.5, and then the Deadman, too. I mean, you gotta find a few of these diamonds if you want to play the Alonsos and Scherzers of the world. It's just that simple.
Yeah. I mean, Minnesota's not the most hitter-friendly park, but
no.
Yeah.
But it's 81 degrees at first pitch there.
That's true.
So that helps a little bit, but we'll see how that rolls. All right, we got that under our belts. So we've got prize picks and our boom selections today. We'll put those in the mix, and then we'll be on our road down the road here and get ready for the live stream tomorrow. Deb and I will be tackling that at 10:45 Eastern. And then on Wednesday, Crash and I'll be back for the live stream at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. All right, come and join us. DFS Coach Talk. We have our best offer of the year. You get from August 1st to October 1st, all of August, all of September, 2 full months. Everything we've got, 110. It's usually 150 for the 2-month package. And you get the first month of football. You get all of our MMA, NASCAR, PGA, Live Golf, and of course, every day of baseball. So we would love to have you. If you just want to dip your toe in the water, 3-day package for just $10. Go to dfscoachtalk.com. All right, sir. Prize pick selections. What do you have for your top 2 for our listeners?
Well, they haven't had it on the board in the last couple of days, but they got the Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases play back on there. So I got to go with that first of all.
I'm surprised they didn't move that up.
Play to me.
Yeah, you would think it'd be 2 or 2.5.
Yeah, 2 or 2.5 exactly.
Yeah,
but 1.5, maybe I'm being baited, but I just can't turn that down. And then Nathan Eovaldi under 24.5 fantasy score. He's gone under that number in 3 straight starts. He scored negative 13 fantasy points last time he faced Houston this year. So,
ouch.
Yeah, I like the under at 24.5 in Houston. I mean, that seems way too high to me.
It does. I agree 100%. I like both plays. I will play both of those as well. I went with Max Scherzer over 97.5 pitches. I think he just coasts one of those, 8-inning, 106 pitches, 9 strikeouts kind of scenarios here.
Yeah.
So feel comfortable with him going deep against his old squad. I have Scherzer over 97.5. And then I'm going back to Jose Altuve. If they keep putting him at 7 or 7.5 on this total fantasy score, which he's only 7.5 today, he's got awesome BVP against Corbin, and I just think that over 7.5 seems like, it's Eovaldi.
Eovaldi, yeah.
Sorry about that, but he's got great BVP against him, and I think he's a terrific play. And then I do have somebody against Corbin for an add-on for our Discord, and another pitching play that I like. So I'm really heavy prize picks today.
Me
I've got
too.
5 or 6. Just they fit today. I really like them. So they're the 2 there that we're giving you here. I'd say play them hard. And then if you're a member, definitely jump in Discord. I already have some of those posted if you look under MLB lineups and you look under prize picks plays of the day, I've got those up already. If you want to try to get them now, might not be a bad idea because these lines may move.
Yep, I agree.
All right, sir. Is that it? You got anything else?
I don't have anything else, Coach. Well, we got to do our Boom Fantasy plays.
Oh, I know. I just said that, and then I completely forgot. What a dope. All right, I'll give you my 2 first for a change, and then you can close us out. My Boom Fantasy plays, I like under in the Los Angeles San Francisco game. It's 8, but again, I just love that San Francisco low-scoring game scenarios that seem to happen more time than not.
Yeah.
I think 8 is a very, very fair number. And, I'm not loading up on Dodgers today. They're not one of my stacks because I do respect Logan Webb. He hasn't been great, but I still respect him. And as I told you, I'm high on Andrew Heaney today. So I'm going under 8 Dodgers Giants for my first Boom Fantasy play. My second one I sort of alluded to. I think the line's just too low. Detroit, Minnesota at a flat 7. I mean, it's 2-ball versus Smeltzer. That doesn't really add up to 7 for me. So I know Vegas is great at setting the lines, but I think this game gets good 9 runs in it. I'm not, neither one of these teams' bullpens are that great either. So somewhere along the lines, I think it goes over 7. So I'm going to take that as my second play on my Boom Fantasy selection. Okay.
And I am going to take the over on the 8.5 implied run total for the Mets and the Nationals. The last time they played, Corbin allowed 7 runs, so I think that if the Mets can score 7, then that's going to be pretty easy to get over that 8.5 total. And then I like Houston at minus 180 against Eovaldi, as we've mentioned several times today, that, we both like Houston. So I like the Mets Nationals over and Houston at minus 180.
I like it. Very good plays. Lay the Bucks there. I think strong play as well. All right. And you know what? I wanted to mention tomorrow, because it's our first live stream during in live chat, we're going to do a little trivia question, and we're going to give away a 1-month membership to Coach Talk for free during the live stream with Deb and I tomorrow. So if you're listening now and you listen to our podcast on a consistent basis, you definitely want to be with us live tomorrow to win that 1-month membership. Don't know how many people in there. It could be 10, it could be 100, who knows?
Yeah.
But your chances are going to be pretty good. And we'll have a cool trivia question during that live stream tomorrow that starts at 10:45 a.m. And I wanted to close out, being a basketball guy that I am. Really sad news yesterday with the passing of Bill Russell. I wanted to mention it on the end of the pod here because I just love that guy, man. All the years, he just cracked me up watching him. He was always around for all the finals series and talking to the other players. I retweeted something where they had him talking to Kobe, and it was just cool conversations. And he's really was close to my heart because he was one of my dad's favorite players. My dad was a Boston Celtics fan, and he absolutely loved Bill Russell. And, he coached and played and stuff, and he just loved Bill Russell. Nobody remembers, and, the younger generation, of course, but if you look up his stats, you talk about, this was before they recorded block shots, Crash. There were games where he'd block over 20 shots.
Oh my God.
20. And there were several, he averaged over 10 block shots a game for a season. And people have went back and watched those tapes and, counted them up. But he was the best defensive player ever on the interior and one of the, great champions of all times. He had 11 rings. And so big loss, he was up in age and failing a bit. So I think he passed fairly comfortably, but just wanted to mention him because he was such an influence and in my basketball life anyway. So
Yeah, they briefly talked about it yesterday during the Brewers game, of course, because they were in Fenway Park in Boston. And then I watched probably about 45 minutes or so on SportsCenter last night when they were talking about him. So I learned some things about him that I didn't know for sure.
Oh, he's awesome. I wore my Celtics green shirt in honor of him today.
Yeah,
Thinking about that, but he's going to be missed. But great memories,
definitely.
great stuff to look back on. Google up some of his information, and it's pretty amazing. 2 national championships at the University of San Francisco that wasn't any good until he got there too. So he did it all. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, my friend, that is it. Great job. Hopefully this helps everybody start out their week on a really high note. We're looking to take some stuff down today. Good, solid contests on all 3 sites with that main slate being at 7:05. So I hope everybody enjoyed it, and certainly look forward to being back for the live stream tomorrow to kick that off. So thanks for joining us. Have a great Monday, and we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB DFS, PrizePicks, and Boom Fantasy.